My daughter died 7 years ago. For 7 years, I believed I was keeping my promise to her. Every January, I sent $40,000 to the man she left behind, her husband. I trusted him completely. I thought the money was helping my granddaughter build the future her mother would have wanted. I never asked questions. I never checked where the money went, and that mistake nearly cost my granddaughter everything. Then, on her 13th birthday, she grabbed my arm with trembling hands and whispered 7 words that changed my life forever. Grandpa ... please stop sending Dad money. At first, I thought she was upset about something small, but then she looked over her shoulder to make sure her father wasn't watching. What she said next made my blood run cold. Just follow him, then you'll understand. 3 days later, I did exactly that. I followed the man I had trusted for 7 years. What I discovered behind the gates of a luxury neighborhood exposed a secret family, a hidden fortune, and a betrayal so cruel that it made me question everything I thought I knew about my daughter's death. And the worst part, my granddaughter had been living with that secret the entire time. What happened next destroyed one family ... and exposed a lie worth millions. This is the story of how a little girl's warning uncovered a secret her father prayed would stay buried forever. The day my granddaughter told me to stop sending money to her father was the day everything I believed came crashing down. For 7 years, I thought I was helping the little girl my daughter left behind. For 7 years, I believed every dollar I sent was giving my granddaughter a better life. I never imagined that the person I trusted most with her future was the very person stealing it from her. What my granddaughter revealed would expose years of lies, greed, and betrayal. But the most painful part was realizing that while I thought I was protecting her, she had been suffering in silence the entire time. My name is Richard Collins, and at 72 years old, I thought I had experienced every kind of heartbreak life could offer. I was wrong. 7 years ago, my daughter Emma died in a tragic highway accident during a storm. 1 minute she was driving home after picking up groceries, and the next minute she was gone forever. No parent should ever have to bury their child. There is no pain that compares to standing beside a grave while knowing the person you raised, loved, and protected is never coming home. Emma was my only child. After her mother passed away years earlier, she became my entire world. She was kind, hardworking, and the type of person who always put others before herself. She worked as a nurse and spent her free time volunteering at community events. Everyone loved her. She left behind a 6-year-old daughter named Sophie. During the funeral, Sophie sat quietly beside me holding a stuffed rabbit. She did not fully understand what had happened. Every few minutes she would ask when her mother was coming back. Every time she asked, it felt like someone was twisting a knife inside my chest. Emma's husband, Derek, appeared devastated. He cried during the service and spoke about how much he loved her. Looking back now, I wonder how much of that grief was genuine. A few weeks after the funeral, Derek came to visit me. He looked exhausted. He talked about bills, school expenses, childcare costs, and how difficult it would be to raise Sophie alone. I felt sorry for him. I had spent 40 years building a successful construction company before retiring. Financially, I was comfortable. Helping my granddaughter was the easiest decision I ever made. That afternoon, I made Derek a promise. Every year, I would send him $40,000 to help provide Sophie with the life Emma would have wanted for her. The moment I told him, tears filled his eyes. He hugged me and thanked me repeatedly. At the time, I thought those tears came from gratitude. Now I know they probably came from realizing how lucky he had just gotten. For the next 7 years, I never missed a payment. Every January, $40,000 went directly into Derek's account. Every year, he thanked me and assured me the money was helping Sophie attend better schools, receive tutoring, participate in activities, and build a bright future. Whenever I visited, Sophie always seemed happy enough. She was polite and quiet, though she became more reserved as she got older. I assumed that was simply part of growing up. I never questioned Derek's stories. I never asked for receipts. I never checked how the money was being spent. After all, he was family. Or at least I thought he was. The warning came on a Saturday afternoon. Sophie was 13 years old by then. I had driven over to celebrate her birthday. Derek had invited several neighbors and friends. Everyone seemed to be having a good time. While adults talked around the grill, Sophie approached me quietly. She looked nervous. Before speaking, she glanced over her shoulder to make sure her father was not watching. Then she grabbed my sleeve. Her hand was trembling. "Grandpa," she whispered. I leaned closer. "What is it, sweetheart?" Her voice became even quieter. "Please stop sending Dad money." I stared at her, For a moment I honestly thought I had misheard. What do you mean? She swallowed hard. Just follow him. That is all you need to do. Then you will understand. Before I could ask another question, Derek called her name from across the yard. The fear that appeared on her face lasted only a second, but it was enough. Something was terribly wrong. The rest of the party felt different. I could not stop thinking about what Sophie had said. Whenever I looked at her, she seemed uncomfortable. Whenever I looked at Derek, I began noticing things I had ignored for years. Derek lifted them into his arms and laughed. The sight made my blood run cold, because he looked more like a father there than he ever had with Sophie. And suddenly, terrifying questions began forming inside my mind. Who were those children? Who was that woman? And where exactly had all my money been going for the last 7 years? I sat frozen behind the steering wheel, barely able to breathe. The woman leaned over and kissed Derek on the cheek. Not the quick peck of a friend, not the polite gesture of a neighbor. It was the kiss of someone who belonged there, someone who had shared a life with him. My stomach twisted. Then one of the little boys wrapped his arms around Derek's neck and shouted something that made my heart stop. Dad! The word echoed inside my head. Dad! I watched Derek smile proudly as he carried the child toward the house. The same man who had spent years telling me he was struggling. The same man who called every month asking for help with school expenses. The same man who claimed Sophie's death had left him emotionally and financially broken. Yet standing before me was a man living a completely different life. A life I knew nothing about. For 7 years, I had trusted him. For 7 years, I had wired money whenever he asked. College funds, medical expenses, emergency repairs, holiday gifts. Every request had sounded reasonable. Every story had seemed believable. And every time, I sent the money because I believed I was helping my late daughter's family survive. Now I wasn't so sure. I reached into my purse and pulled out my phone. My hands were shaking. I opened my banking app, then my old transfer records. One by one, month after month, year after year, the numbers began adding up. $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, then more, far more. By the time I finished calculating, my chest felt tight. The total was staggering. Enough money to buy a house. Enough money to completely change someone's life. Enough money to build the comfortable future I was now watching through that front window. Suddenly, another memory surfaced. A conversation with Sophie just months before she died. At the time, it had seemed insignificant, but now it felt like a warning I had completely missed. Dad lies about money all the time, she had whispered. I remembered laughing it off. Teenagers argued with parents. That was normal. But now I wondered if she had been trying to tell me something much bigger. Something I had failed to see. As I stared at Derek's house, another realization hit me. This wasn't just about money. This wasn't even about betrayal. Because if Derek had hidden an entire family from me for 7 years, what else had he hidden? What else had he lied about? And most terrifying of all ... And I certainly wasn't giving him another dollar. For the first time in 7 years, I was going to uncover the truth.